Hundreds of them, they got injured. Himself, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam was very badly injured. I have given you the detail. Then, as I told you, that we cannot say that that was a defeat of Muslims. Because they defeated the kuffar in the very beginning, number one. Number two, they got attacked from their back when they were not ready to fight. Number three, two things happened. Musa ibn Umair radiallahu ta'ala anhu got killed when he was totally covered in armor coat and helmet, and he was walking. His walking had a resemblance with the walk of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So when they saw that he fell down, and thus Satan shouted and he said, "Inna Muhammadan qad qutil," that Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam is killed. So I told you that Sahaba were not only Muslims believing in Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. They were not only his followers, they were in utmost love with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And such a shocking news, they were shrunk. And because of that, they were unable to hold themselves. And thus, they started walking out of the battlefield. Got it? I gave you the detail. And when they were going towards Medina, so they are from Sayyidah Aaisha, Sayyidah Safiya, Sayyidah Sulaim, Sayyidah Hiram, and few other noble ladies. They were coming from Medina side because they heard about that tragedy. So when these Sahaba were going, so they were picking up the pebbles and sand and throwing it towards them. Where are you running away? If Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam is killed, what's the purpose of life after that? And if he is still in the battlefield, why you are leaving him alone? So in both ways, you have to be there. And thus, Sahaba made a U-turn. Got it? And here Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, as I told you, that Sayyidina Ali, raziyallahu ta'ala an, he got hold of him because he fell in trench. And Sayyidah Talha, radiyallahu ta'ala, Talha ibn Ubaidillah, yes, he put him on his back and brought him out. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said, "Ilayya ibadallah, ana Muhammad ibn Abdullah, Rasulullah. Come towards me. I am Muhammad son of Abdullah, the messenger of Allah." Sahaba said, "Oh, this device of Rasulullah, he is not killed." Got it? And then they stayed there in the battlefield very stable. And as I told you that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he never left the battlefield right away. After that the job was accomplished, he used to stay for one night there. So that night also Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam stayed there in Uhud. That was the night in between Friday and Saturday. Friday and Saturday. And on Saturday, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he was coming back to Medina. But as I mentioned before, that some people were saying that maybe the mushrikeen, they will attack Medina. So that's why Sahaba, they used to guard the house of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam at night time. Waqidi is a great historian. He narrates that Abdullah ibn Amr Muzani raziyallahu ta'ala an, he came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and told him that I went out of Medina to a place known by the name of Malal. So I saw the Quraysh were staying there, they were stationed there. And at night, I was sitting there in dark. They were talking to one another, "We did a mistake. We killed a few of them. We injured a lot of them. We should have followed them unto Medina to get rid of this once forever. So maybe they are planning. But he said, then I heard a man, Safwan ibn Umayyah, that he told them, don't do this stupidity. Do you know? Number one, that was outside Medina. Number two, now they are just like injured lions. They will bite you people with your teeth. Inside Medina city, you cannot fight them. Even the Roman, they will fight you. And yesterday, a few hundred did not join them. But if you enter Medina, for sure they will join them. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said about Safwan ibn Umayyah that he is not that clever a man, but at least he spoke something clever. That this is. So anyhow, then the next day, which was Sunday, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he was also thinking maybe they will plan to come back. So on Sunday, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he ordered Bilal raziyallahu ta'ala an that make an announcement that we have to go after them. But make an announcement that only those who were with us yesterday in the battle, only they can go with us. So some of those who came back from the middle of the way towards Uhud, with by the instigation and conspiracy of Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Salul, some of them, they asked permission if they can join. Prophet ﷺ said, no way. Yesterday was a day. You left us alone. Now you want to join us? No way. Jabir ibn Abdullah raziyallahu ta'ala an, he was not there in Uhud. So he came. So Rasulullah ﷺ himself, he said, Jabir, you will join us. He said, because you know, Ya Rasulullah, because my father was going, my brother-in-law was going, I have 7 sisters. And my father told me, Abdullah, he told me that if I got killed and you got killed, who will take care of these 7 sisters? So I am going, you should stay home. If I got killed and he became Shaykh, his father Abdullah. So he said, because of that reason yesterday I did not join. So only Jabir ibn Abdullah, he got permission and he joined Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he told Sayyidina Umar radiyallahu ta'ala an, that it happened in Uhud. This will never happen in Quraysh history. Got it? Until we will conquer Makkah. And after that, Quraysh never had any upper hand against Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam or against the Muslims. So now, for this journey to follow them, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave the flag to Sayyidina Ali raziyallahu ta'ala an. And he appointed Abdullah ibn Maktoum raziyallahu ta'ala, the blind man raziyallahu ta'ala an. Abasa wa tawalla an ja'ahu al-a'ma. So that a'ma and blind, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam appointed him as Amir of Medina. Outside Medina, there is a place known by the name of Hamra'ul Asad. What? Hamra'ul Asad. So when they arrived there, Ma'bad ibn Abi Ma'bad al-Khuza'i, yes, Tarjan left. So he was with me and other brothers and sisters as well. So I told them that this is the Qarya of Ma'bad. Ma'bad al-Khuza'i, the lady, yes, whose lean type of goat was there at home. And at the time of Hijrah, Sayyidina Abu Bakr asked her for any food. So she said, I don't have, otherwise I would have offered on myself. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he looked at that lean goat, yes, like in dying condition there on the ground. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, who is this? Said, ours. Why it is like this? So she said, because she cannot walk. She is that weak. And that's why my husband took all the goats and sheep to the mountain. He stays there in the mountain for a few days and night, and then he comes back. And he didn't take because she cannot walk. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if you will allow us to milk it. So she smiled. She said, milk it? She is not a milking goat. So Sayyidina Abu Bakr said, sister. So she said, okay, if you can do something. So Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala, he made it standing. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, and he touched it 3 times, its order. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So she left her order down and became full. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, do you have any pot? So, and she was amazingly looking at what happened. Here from this milk is coming. So once Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he gave it to a few friends who were joining them. And then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, for the second time, he drank it. And then for the third time, he filled up the pot with and gave it to Mabad. And the next day, when her husband came back, she said, where from this milk is? She said, oh man, you were not here. A full moon came to our house. Stars were around him. He was a man. Later on I will tell you that how he described Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The proper way, as Muhaddiseen narrates. So anyhow, so Ma'bad ibn Abi Ma'bad al-Khuzai, he came and he said, Rasulullah, what happened yesterday? Actually, it injured us when we heard about that. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told him, just go where they are staying. Yes, so put some fear in their heart that, do you know, he is coming along with his army. So as soon as possible, just run towards Makkah. Otherwise, they will eat you people up. Got it? So they were there in a place known by the name of Rawha. What? Rawha. That is 36 miles from Medina. I showed it to the brother. That is Rawha. This Rawha is mentioned here and also in Hadith of Tirmidhi. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that a shaitanu yafirru min al-azan wa lahu duratun hatta yakuna bil Rawha. That when the muazzin is giving azan, Satan is running away from the voice of azan. Yes, and he is releasing ghosts. Yeah. Yes. Passing the gates, hatta yakuna bil Rawha, and he runs up to Rawha outside Medina. So I said at that time loudspeaker was not there. What is happening to him nowadays? Got it? Or not it? So Muhammad ibn Abi Ma'bad, when he was passing by them like he is not for some job or something. So they, where do you come? Or where from you? He said, from Medina. He said, any news? So he said, oh guy, news, a big news. They said, what's that? Yeah, Muhammad with a huge army. And they are coming after you. And today, those who were not with him yesterday, so they joined him. So Abu Sufyan said, we were trying to go back and to get rid of them. So Ma'bad told them, if you are hearing or listening to the advice of a sincere friend, so my friend is that you, Bismillah, we're speeding towards Makkah. Otherwise, you people are gone. From the other side, a caravan of Abdul Qais, that's a tribe, that was coming, Abu Sufyan, because that is actually, we say, psychological war. So Abu Sufyan told them, I will give you some money. Yes, just frighten Muhammad. That, oh, Makkah, oh, they are ready and they are coming in. Got it? Now, another thing, that when Abu Sufyan was leaving Uhud, so he asked a few questions. Afil qawmi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Muhammad is alive. So Sahaba ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in looked at Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Should we answer? So he satisfied that Muhammad is gone sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So then he said, Afil qawmi ibn Abi Quhafa, Abu Bakr is alive. It means that this sequence was known to Kuffar also. Yes, only to those people, that's not known. Afil Qawm ibn Abi Quhafa. Sahaba looked at, no. So he said, oh, Abu Bakr also killed. Then he said, Afil Qawm ibn al-Khattab. Umar ibn al-Khattab is alive. Yes. So Sahaba also looked at, Sayyidina Umar, you are challenging him. Yes, calling his name and he will keep quiet. Yes. He said, Ya Rasulullah. Don't answer. Got it? And then, when he was satisfied that this is the 3-row leadership, 3 rows leadership. So leadership is gone. So he said, oh no, Habal. Habal, go high. Habal is their God. Habal, go high. So now that was ideology. Shirk was what? Their idea. So now Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he told Sahaba, now answer. Because for personality don't answer. For ideology answer. So he said that say, Allahu A'la wa Ajal. That Allah is the utmost high and ever high. Got it? So then he said, let lana Uzza wa la Uzza lakum. We have Uzza and you people don't have it. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Sahaba, ala tujibun? You are not answering. They said, what? He said that tell them, Allahu Maulana wa la Maula lakum. That Allah is our helper and protector, and you don't have such a protector and helper. Got it? And then Abu Sufyan said, Maw'iduna al-Badr al-Aam al-Qabil. We will see you in Badr next year. So at that time, the war, that was on planning. Got it? Maw'iduna al-Badr al-Aam al-Qabil. Got it? So anyhow, now, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, no sound.
It's not that one.
Huh?
It's not that one.
What?
It's another one.
Slip ho gaya.
It's a different one.
Slip ho gaya. Kahan ho gaya? Oh. So, now when they went there, Abu Sufyan and his army, they left for Mecca. So they had some stuff with them because they were going to follow them, so they took some stuff. So now what they will do with stuff? So in close by villages, they sold their stuff. And also they bought something there from and brought it to Medina and sold it there. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Allazina stajabu lillahi. Those who answered or responded positively, lillahi to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wa rasuli and the messenger, min ba'di ma sabahumul qarhu, after that they had been injured and wounded, because yesterday they were wounded very badly. Min ba'di ma sabahumul qarhu. So now in such a mean condition, that 70 big generals got killed. Hundreds of them got injured. Someone is having a bandage on his leg, another one on his arm, a third one on his shoulder, a fourth one is on his forehead, and in such like condition. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said it, so all of them they came out. Allazina stajabu lillahi wa rasuli. Those who answered Allah and the messenger, min ba'di ma sabahumul qarhu, after they have been wounded, lillazina ahsanu minhum, for those of them who did good deeds, wattaqu, and they feared Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the second meaning, wattaqu al-jubna. Wattaqu al-jubna. They avoided cowardice. They avoided cowardice. Otherwise, in such a condition, everybody is becoming coward. Ajrun azim, for them there is a great reward. Allazina, they are those. Qala lahumun nasu, to whom some people said, the caravan of Abdul Qais. The caravan of Abdul Qais. And another riwayah, that was the chief of Taif, Nu'aym ibn Masud Ashja'i. So maybe both of them, they were taking their caravan, and Abu Sufyan told them, just put some fear in the heart of Muslims. Got it? Allazina qala lahum an-nasu, those unto whom the people said, Inna an-nasa qad jama'u lakum, verily the people of Makkah, qad jama'u lakum, they have gathered against you, fakhshawhum. So therefore fear them and don't face them. Because they are big in number, having lot of mass destruction weapons and this and that. Got it? So don't face them. Fakhshawhum, so fear them. Fazadahum imana, so it. How we will translate it? Yusuf, your test. Yes, you know Arabic and you know English both. Because of fear, you don't want it. Got it? Fazadahum imana. So according to Jumhur, Imam Malik, Imam Shafi and Ahmad ibn Hanbal, and also Ahlul Hadith, Fazadahum imana, it increased them in iman. It increased them in iman. But being a Hanafi, Fazadahum imana, it enriched them in iman. Enriched them in iman. In the kitab of mine in Arabic, al-Faraid fil aqaid, ayazidul imanu yanqusu, iman is increasing and decreasing. So according to Salafiyya and according to Jumhur, that is because the nusus are there and they are going by literal meaning of nas, but we are going by liberal meaning. So the liberal meaning is enriched. Iman is not increasing, iman is enriching. Iman is enriching. Why? Because increase, its opposite is decrease. Yes? And two opposites are iman and kufr. Two opposites are? So if one is increasing, so the other one is decreasing. If one is decreasing, so the other one is increasing. But both exist there. Both exist there. Got it? Light is increasing, so darkness is decreasing. If darkness is increasing, so life is decreasing. Got it? So, now if iman is increasing, so kufr is decreasing. But if iman is decreasing, so kufr is increasing. So then we will say Mr. So and so is 80% mu'min and 20% kafir. It will never be like this. That's why Abdul Rahman is becoming Abu Hanifa. So anyhow. Okay. فَخْشَوْهُمْ فَزَادَهُمْ إِيمَانًا إِنَّ النَّاسَ قَدْ جَمَعُوا لَكُمْ فَخْشَوْهُمْ فَزَادَهُمْ إِيمَانًا. Imam Bukhari rahmatullahi alayh in Kitab al-Iman, he has written the chapter about مَا جَاءَ فِي أَنَّ الْإِيمَانَ يَزِيدُ وَيَنْقُصُ. Got it? And there we are fighting with Imam Bukhari. Fighting mean knowledge-wise. We are fighting with him knowledge-wise. فَخْشَوْهُمْ فَزَادَهُمْ إِيمَانًا, so that enriched them in faith. وَقَالُوا, and they said, حَسْبُنَا اللَّهُ وَنِعْمَ الْوَكِيلُ, Allah is sufficient for us and He is the best disposer of affairs. So this is a good wazifa for Mashaykh, that if you can, so early in the morning and after Isha prayer, 101 time, 101 time, Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakeel. Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakeel. Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakeel. It will give you strength. Number one, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take care of your affairs. Remove your difficulties. Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakeel. When you completed 101, so after that you will say, Ni'mal Mawla wa ni'mal Nasir. Ni'mal Mawla wa ni'mal Nasir. وَقَالُوا, and they said, Hasbunallahu, sufficient for us is Allah, wa ni'mal wakeel, and He is the best disposer of affairs. فَانْقَلَبُوا بِنِعْمَةٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ, so they returned with grace from Allah's side. وَفَضْلٍ, and with His bounty. With His bounty. So what is the ni'mah min Allah? That the kuffar became afraid of them. This is a good ni'mah of Allah. If your enemy has a fear in his heart from you. And what was the bounty? As I told you, that the stuff they had, they sold it there. And they bought something therefrom and sold it back in Medina. Lam yamsashum su'un, no any harm has touched them. Wattaba'u ridwan Allah, and they followed the good pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wallahu zu fazlin azim, and Allah is the owner of great bounty. Innama zalikum ash-shaytanu yukhawwifu awliya'ah. Well, Yusuf, once again your test. Innama zalikum ash-shaytanu, verily that is shaitan, yukhawwifu awliya'ah. So Satan is not frightening his friends. He is frightening his enemies. He is frightening his enemies. Somebody yourself, only one single letter you will put there. So that every difficulty is gone. إِنَّمَا ذَلِكُمُ الشَّيْطَانُ يُخَوِّفُكُمْ أَوْلِيَاءَهُ. He is frightening you people from his allies. That, oh, Abu Sufyan and his army. So Allah says, إِنَّمَا, you should write it. يُخَوِّفُ بِتَقْدِيرِ كُمْ. بِتَقْدِيرِ كُمْ. So the actual word is يُخَوِّفُكُمْ. إِنَّمَا ذَلِكُمُ الشَّيْطَانُ, verily that is shaitan, يُخَوِّفُكُمْ, who is frightening you, أَوْلِيَاءَهُ, from his allies and his friends. فَلَا تَخَافُوهُمْ, so be not afraid of them. وَخَافُونِي, and fear me. إِن كُنْتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ, if you are true believers. وَلَا يَحْزُنْكَ الَّذِينَ يُسَارِعُونَ فِي الْكُفْرِ, that is regarding munafiqeen. وَلَا يَحْزُنْكَ الَّذِينَ, and let not those grieve you, O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, يُسَارِعُونَ فِي الْكُفْرِ, who rush with haste to disbelieve. They rush with haste in disbelief, the munafiqeen. So you may not grieve because of them. إِنَّهُمْ لَن يَضُرُّوا اللَّهَ شَيْئًا, verily they cannot harm Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shay'an qalilan. Shay'an qalilan, a little bit even. إِنَّهُمْ لَن يَضُرُّوا اللَّهَ شَيْئًا يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ, Allah wills, Allah يَجْعَلَ لَهُمْ حَظًّا فِي الْآخِرَةِ, Allah wills to give them no portion, or not to give them any portion, fil akhirah, in the hereafter. وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ عَظِيمٌ, and for them there is a big torment. إِلَّا الَّذِينَ اشْتَرَوُا الْكُفْرَ بِالْإِيمَانِ, verily those who purchased disbelief bil-iman, on the price of belief. So munafiqeen, they pretended iman, but they purchased the kufr for that iman. Got it? إِنَّ الَّذِينَ اشْتَرَوُا الْكُفْرَ, and another meaning, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ اشْتَرَوْا اِخْتَارُوا الْكُفْرَ بَدَلِ الْإِيمَانِ. Then by is Badaliyah. Then by Badaliyah. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ اشْتَرَوُا الْكُفْرَ, verily those who purchased kufr bil iman, for the price of iman, لَن يَضُرُّوا اللَّهَ شَيْئًا, they cannot harm Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala a little bit. وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ, and for them there is a painful torment. وَلَا يَحْسَبَنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا وَلَا يَحْسَبَنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا أَنَّمَا نُمْلِي لَهُمْ خَيْرٌ. Maulvi Yusuf, once again, today you are under test because you ate good food. Yes or not?
Yes.
And if you give a good grain for your horse, then you have to give him a good run. Yes, you are our running horse. Derby race. Got it? Actually, I am activating your sleeping cells. Got it?
Yes.
In Durus, you and your Sultan Sahib, you learn all these things. You have it in your cells, but those cells, they are taking rest. So the only thing I am doing, what? Giving it a jumper. Giving it a jumper. Yes, then your brain is working good. وَلَا يَحْسَبَنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا And let not the disbeliever thinks, annama numli lahum khairun. So now, allazina kafaru is the fa'il and subject of yahsabanna. And annama numli, that is the maf'ul and object of yahsabanna. Abdurrahman, you are best. Okay. وَلَا يَحْسَبَنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, and let not those who disbelieved may think, أَنَّمَا نُمْلِي لَهُمْ. أَنَّمَا نُمْلِي لَهُمْ. So anna, that is حرف من الحروف المشبهة بالفعل. من الحروف المشبهة بالفعل. But ma, that is masdariyah. Anna, ma, this is not one word. Annama, these are two letters. Anna is harf min al-huruf al-mushabba bil-fa'il. And ma is masdariyah. So numli, just change it to masdar. So وَلَا يَحْسَبَنَّ الَّذِينَ أَنَّ إِمْلَاءَنَا لَهُمْ خَيْرٌ. Got it? Annama numli, anna imla'ana lahum khairun. And imla is in the meaning of imhal. Imla is in the meaning of imhal. وَلَا يَحْسَبَنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا أَنَّمَا نُمْلِي لَهُمْ خَيْرٌ لِأَنفُسِهِمْ. And let not those who disbelieved may think أَنَّمَا نُمْلِي لَهُمْ خَيْرٌ, that our delay of punishment for them خَيْرٌ لِأَنفُسِهِمْ, that are better for themselves. They are committing crime. We are not punishing them. We are delaying their punishment. Or we are postponed, or we do postpone their punishment. So this postponement or this delay, they should not think that is better for us. Got it? وَلَا يَحْسَبَنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, and let not those who disbelieved may think أَنَّمَا نُمْلِي لَهُمْ أَنَّ إِمْلَاءَنَا لَهُمْ. Well, Yusuf, you wrote it?
Yes.
Abdurrahman, you wrote it? أَنَّ إِمْلَاءَنَا لَهُمْ. And then write down that وَالْإِمْلَاءُ بِمَانَا الْإِمْهَالِ. وَالْإِمْلَاءُ بِمَانَا الْإِمْهَالِ. And imhal means, say, giving time. Imhal means from muhlat. From what? Muhlat, giving time, delay, postponement. Anna imla'ana lahum, that our delay or postponement or punishment to them is khairul li anfusihim, they may not think that is better for them. Innama numli lahum, verily we give them time, liyazdadu isma, we postpone and we give them this muhlat. Liyazdadu isma, only so that they may increase in sinfulness. They may do more and more sin. More and more sin. Got it? So, to have a proper punishment then. To have a proper punishment. وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ مُهِينٌ, and for them there is a disgracing torment. Muhin means zu ihanatin. Zu ihanatin. وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ مُهِينٌ مَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لِيَذَرَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. مَا كَانَ اللَّهُ, Allah is not لِيَذَرَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ لِيَدَعَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. What? لِيَدَعَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Ma kana Allahu, Allah is not liyad'a al-mu'minina, to leave the believers alama antum alayhi, in the state in which you are now. Allah is not leaving the mu'minin in the state you are now. He will put you to test. He will put you to distinct the true believer from the munafiqeen. And that happened when a true friend is the one who stands besides you in adversity, not in prosperity. In prosperity, everyone is. For friend, for food, everyone is what?
Friend.
Everyone is friend. Yes, but for difficult time, yes, one by one they will slip out. I'm not referring to you people. I'm giving you a general rule. Got it? Got it?
Yes.
Or not? And that's why. Yes, for food, you invite everyone. But in difficult time, you pick that who is for such lifetime. And that's why a lover, a lover, he made a complaint about his beloved. About his beloved. That what he said? وَإِذَا تَكُونُ كَرِيهَةً أُدْعَى لَهَا. Well, Yusuf should write it. And Abdul Rahman, you also. وَإِذَا تَكُونُ كَرِيهَةً أُدْعَى لَهَا. Wrote it? What I said?
وإذا تكون كريهة أدعى لها.
وَإِذَا تَكُونُ كَرِيهَةً أُدْعَى لَهَا وَإِذَا يُحَاسُ الْحِيسُ يُدْعَى جُنْدُبُهُ. وَإِذَا يُحَاسُ الْحِيسُ يُدْعَى جُنْدُبُهُ. وَإِذَا يُحَاسُ بالسين يُحَاسُ الْحِيسُ بالسين. وَإِذَا تَكُونُ كَرِيهَةً أُدْعَى لَهَا. Whenever there is a calamity and hardship and difficulty. So he said, I am called for. That come on, Baba. We came under the mountain. That my beloved, yes, she calls me whenever there is difficulty. وَإِذَا يُحَاسُ الْحِيسُ يُدْعَى جُنْدُبُ. But when the halwa is ready, so then she invites Jundub, not me. Got it. وَإِذَا تَكُونُ كَرِيهَةً أُدْعَى لَهَا وَإِذَا يُحَاسُ الْحِيسُ يُدْعَى جُنْدُبُ. مَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لِيَذَرَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Allah will not leave the believers عَلَى مَا أَنْتُمْ عَلَيْهِ, in the state in which you are now, حَتَّى يَمِيزَ الْخَبِيثَ مِنَ الطَّيِّبِ. حَتَّى يَمِيزَ الْخَبِيثَ مِنَ الطَّيِّبِ, until he distinguishes al-khabisa, the wicked one, مِنَ الطَّيِّبِ, from the good one. And now this distinction, that is with difficulty. That is with then you will find out that who is the true friend, who was standing beside you in adversity. Hatta yamiz al-khabisa, until he distinguishes al-khabisa, the wicked one, min at-tayyibi, from the good one. Wa ma kana Allahu liyutli'akum 'ala al-ghaybi, and nor Allah will disclose to you the ghaib. وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ يَجْدُ وَلَكِنَّ وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ, and Allah is not لِيُطْعِمَكُمْ, to give you itla, to give you itla, or to make you طالع على الغيب. لِيُطْلِعَكُمْ جَعَلَكُمْ طَالِعًا لِيَجْعَلَكُمْ طَالِعًا على الغيب. لِيَجْعَلَكُمْ طَالِعًا على الغيب. Tali al-Ghaib, the one who knows Ghaib as a whole. Yes, and Ghaib as a whole is known only to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's a masla ilm Ghaib. That is what? Masla ilm Ghaib, which is disputed between the Bandis and yes, got it. So Allah says, وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لِيُطْلِعَكُمْ عَلَى الْغَيْبِ, and that Allah is not لِيُطْلِعَكُمْ لِيَجْعَلَكُمْ طَالِعًا. لِيَجْعَلَكُمْ طالعان, like the tulu' al-shams. So when the shams and the sun, it rises, yes, so that rise on the whole world. So يُطْلِعَكُمْ عَلَى الْغَيْبِ جَعَلَكُمْ طَالِعًا عَلَى الْغَيْبِ, to make you alim al-ghaib, to make you alim al-ghaib. وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ يَجْتَبِي مِنْ رُسُلِهِ, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chooses مِنْ رُسُلِهِ, of his messengers, مَنْ يَشَاءُ, whom wills, فَيُخْبِرَهُ بِبَعْضِ الْغَيْبِ. فَيُخْبِرَهُ, say بِبَعْضِ الْغَيْبِ. فَيُخْبِرَهُ
ببعض الغيب.
So sometimes he uses the ikhbar and the news about ghaib. Got it? And Sadi, who?
Sadi.
Sadi Shirazi, he made it very much clear in what of his stanza. In what of? His stanza. What? Ke kase pursid azgum kar da farzind. Who knows Persian language? Raise your hand. Yes, but don't shy. Yes. What about Heratis? Yes. Yes. Herati knows Persian. Yes. Nakhil? Come, Medani. And Tarjan, he knows well. And Fahim knows well. Yes. And Askar? Yes. Askar also knows. And Hafiz? Yes. So Kaseb, Arunjan is. He is not Afghanistan. He is from Afghanistan. He is from Quetta. Ke Kaseb Pursi Zazgun Kar da Farzin. कसे पुरसीद az gum karda farzin ke e roshan go har pire khiradmand. What's this one? You study Persian language?
Yes.
Come.
Yes.
Oh, kase pursid az gum karda farzin ke e roshan. In our time, we were studying Panjganj, then Gulistan of Sadi, then Bostan of Sadi, then Sekadandama Barri, then Sekadandama Khusravi, then Yusuf Zulikhafullah Jami, then after that Tawfaina Sayah, and then after that portions of Musnabi Malana. Ma kana Allahu liyazar al-mu'minina ala ma. And Ya Subhanallah, when you study Mullah Rum, Ya Subhanallah, the way he speaks, yes, he is totally a faqir admi, a faqir man. So when he is talking about the besubati and non-stability of this world and worldly life and worldly attachment, yes, so you think at that time I should go to the mountain and stay here to become a Saheb. Yes, so he is condemning the dunyadari and dunyadari and dunyadari, and then in the end he said, Ke ahle dunya che kahino che mahin. Ahle dunya is somebody whose nature is dunyadar. Dunyadar means in love with world. So he has a little or he has a lot. Ahle dunya che kahino che mahin. His nature is dunyadari, so he has that much or he has that much. So he said that doesn't make difference. Ke ahle dunya che kahino che mahin lanatullahi alayhim ajma'in. He said curse of Allah may be upon them. God is Ma kana Allahu liyazar al-mu'minina ala ma antum alayhi. Allah is not to leave the believers ala ma antum alayhi, in the state in which you are now, hatta yamiz al-khabisa min at-tayyib, until he distinguishes the wicked from the good. Wa ma kana Allah, and Allah is not liyutli'akum ala al-ghayb, to make you tale al ghayb, walakin Allah yajtabi. So Sadi said what he said, ke kase pursid az gum kar da farzind, ke e roshan go har pire khiradmand, ze misrash buye pera han shimidi, chira dar chahe ke lanash nadidi. Bagufta haleman barke jahanast, दमे पैदा व देगर दम निहानस्त, गहे बरतार में आला नशीने, गहे बर पुष्ट पाए खुद नबी ने. That somebody asked Pir Khiradmand, the utmost intellectual personality, Yaqub alayhi salatu wassalam, ke e roshan ko har Pir Khiradmand, that oh the intelligent man, ze misrash buye pera hanshimidi. They came out, your son, they came out with the shirt from Egypt, and you were there in Nablus. You were in Palestine, and they came out of Egypt. And what you said to people sitting around you, I feel the fragrance of Yusuf. So they said, Kaze misrash boye perahan shimidi. From Misr, you felt it. Chira darjahe ke naanash nadidi. 1 mile away, there is the well where Yusuf was for 2-3 days. Chira darjahe ke naanash nadidi. Bagufta hale man barke jahanast. He said, you don't know the cloud lightning? When it lightens, the whole world is bright. But it does not, you cannot see your hand there. So I said, what? Ke bagufta hale man barke jahanast, dame peda wadi gardam nihanast. They are in well, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not disclose it to me. They are from Egypt, He disclosed it to me. So he said, what? Ke bagufta hale man barke jahanast, dame peda wadi gardam nihanast, gahe barpare me ada nashinem. Sometime we are sitting there on a high altitude, so we see everything. गहे पर तारे में आला नशीने, गहे पर पुष्ट पाए खुद नबीने. And sometimes something is there on the back of our foot and we cannot see it. So he said that when Allah discloses, then we know. When Allah does not, then we do not. So Ama Khan Allah, this is a good explanation of this ayah. وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لِيُطْلِعَكُمْ عَلَى الْغَيْبِ وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ يَجْتَبِي مِنْ رُسُلِهِ مَنْ يَشَاءُ فَآمِنُوا بِاللَّهِ. So believe in Allah وَرُسُلِهِ in His messengers. وَإِن تُؤْمِنُوا وَتَتَّقُوا, and if you will believe, وَتَتَّقُوا, and you will avoid what? The khabasat, the wickedness. وَتَتَّقُوا, and you will fear Allah. فَلَكُمْ أَجْرٌ عَظِيمٌ, so for you there is a great reward. وَلَا يَحْسَبَنَّ الَّذِينَ يَبْخَلُونَ, and let not those who covetously withhold. وَلَا يَبْخَلَنَّ الَّذِينَ يَبْخَلُونَ بِمَا آتَاهُمُ اللَّهُ, and let not those who are showing what? The bukhul. What? The bukhul. وَلَا يَحْسَبَنَّ الَّذِينَ يَبْخَلُونَ بِمَا آتَاهُمُ اللَّهُ, who are doing bukhul, they are holding their wealth. مَا آتَاهُمُ اللَّهُ, which Allah has given them min fazli, from His bounty. هُوَ خَيْرٌ لَهُمْ, so they should not think that that is good for them not to spend. That's good for them not to spend. بَلْ هُوَ شَرٌّ لَهُمْ, but that holding is bad for them. بَلْ هُوَ شَرٌّ لَهُمْ, so miserliness is bad for them. بَلْ هُوَ شَرٌّ لَهُمْ سَيُطَوَّقُونَ بِمَا بَخِلُوا بِهِ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. سَيُطَوَّقُونَ, they would be garlanded. They would be garlanded. Tawq dar gardan nihadan. In Persian what do you get? So tawq dar gardan nihadan. سَيُطَوَّقُونَ, garlanding. سَيُطَوَّقُونَ, they would be garlanded. Ma, that wealth, bakhilu bihi, with whom they showed miserliness, or they did miserliness. So that wealth will be garlanded around their neck. سَيُطَوَّقُونَ, they would be garlanded. Ma bakhilu bihi yawm al-qiyamah, what they have, or what bukhul they have done with that wealth yawm al-qiyamah, the day of judgment. وَلِلَّهِ مِيرَاثُ السَّمَاوَاتِ, and why they are miser? In the end, everything is remaining to Allah. وَلِلَّهِ مِيرَاثُ السَّمَاوَاتِ, and to Allah belongs the heritage of the heavens, وَالْأَرْضِ, and of earth. وَاللَّهُ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ خَبِيرٌ, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is all acquainted bima ta'maluna, with what you are doing. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulih Muhammad wa ala ashabihi ajma'in. Allahumma rabbana ahsin aqibatana fil umuri kulliha wa ajirna min khizyi ad-dunya wa azabil akhirah. Rabbana a'inna ala zikrika wa shukrika wa husni ibadatik. All those brothers who served the guests tonight, and our sisters who made the food, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of them. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them barakah and khair here and also in the hereafter. Wa sallallahu ala khair.